Hey there guys, how are you doing? It's Speed here. You may have heard about this game recently. The bosses in it can be absolutely insane at times, and they're amongst all the best I've seen in a game for a while. I mean, yeah, I do wish there was more of them, and I'm more for quality over quantity, but I think a couple of more would have made a huge difference. But the 6 fights that are here really are something. I'm Speed England, and this is my ranking of No Straight Roads boss fights.
We're gonna bunka, we're gonna junka, and we're gonna bam in your faces!
With only 6 bosses, having a bad one amongst a lot definitely stings a lot more. And for me, it happened on one of the worst bosses you could mess up in the game, the penultimate one. Because I do not like the difficulty spike here. Every other boss prior took me a maximum of 2 tries, but here, she murdered me several times, and it's entirely because of the second and third phases as they both have the same problems. She splits your 2 playable characters and will constantly walk between the 2 rooms, and this is what I hate about the fight. There is so much going on, it's easy to get caught out by something. This is especially noticeable when you're playing as Mayday, because her attacks are more aggressive on her side due to her contrasting feelings between Mayday and her ex-suit. Like, you could be dodging her eyeballs that she fires out of her hands, or at least I believe those are eyeballs, or feet trying to stomp on you, but whilst you're dodge rolling those, you could end up getting smacked by the hands coming out of the side of the arena before you have a chance to react, or that Illuminati laser which has anti-stormtrooper precision.
Only realised this during editing, but the laser's hitbox was active before the laser was fired, so VFUODNFJLMVLMBH
Oh, and that stomp attack can even catch you out when you switch characters before you get a chance to react. Nice! The visuals and music are amazing, and I have no issues with the other phases, I'll give it that, but these 2 phases are just a mess, and it was not a good send-off for the final fight.
We're gonna bunka, we're gonna junka, and we're gonna bam in your faces!
Okay, so I'm obviously not a fan of the E fight, but the other fights are the reason why I like this game. 1010 does have a pretty cool fight, but it ain't perfect. The first phase can actually go on for quite a while. At first you just need to take out one of the 1010 members whilst avoiding their lasers and slamming into the ground, but that ain't gonna get you far. Every time you destroy a member, Neon J, your real target, will replace him straight away. After the first time you do that, whenever you destroy a 1010 member, he leaves notes behind that you need to shoot at Neon J, but because they have shields that only go down when they're attacking you, you'll probably only be able to take out 1 or 2 at best, and considering they repeat the same attacks over and over again, that can get mildly annoying. Especially when surviving members fully heal posing for fans, because somehow that works. Once you've depleted Neon J's health bar, you just have to survive 1 more round before you fight Neon J head on. And this is easily the best part of the fight, because these attacks don't follow a set pattern and they all leave notes behind, so this part of the fight is actually pretty well paced. An amazing end to a great fight. I just think a few tweaks shortening and maybe some more variety in the attacks in the first phase would have benefited the whole fight a lot more.
We're gonna bunka, we're gonna junka, and we're gonna bam in your faces!
So the bosses drastically change within each phase, and Yinu is the most obvious example of that. You don't actually start the fight on the arena, you actually have to run up and destroy a gate dodging her notes and explosions. Only then does the real fight kick off. The first 2 phases are pretty similar, just dodge the note she fires out that leaves notes behind that you can shoot at her. The only real differences between the 2 phases is this attack and the fact that you have to slash at the mum. From here the mum gets absolutely pissed at you and takes over Yinu, gaining a new attack, sending parts of the destroyed arena in an attempt to crush you. You take her out the same way as the second phase. For the final phase, Yinu's mum loses it and transforms into this hellish cage, eliminating Yinu from the battlefield entirely. Her attacks in the last phase are ridiculous, especially when she slams down those piano keys, because if you don't spot the area where they won't come down, you could be in a lot of trouble, mate. Again, you just have to shoot notes at her. Depleting her health there finally allows you to use the showstopper, or at least that'd be the case if Yinu didn't catch you out. At this point, you just have to run up while she goes berserk here so you can cut the stem of the rose, ending the fight. I love how different each of the phases play out, and it's also here you first see the real damage you're actually doing, foreshadowing events later on in the game. That was really well done.
We're gonna bunka, we're gonna junka, and we're gonna bam in your faces!
DJ Subtonic Supernova is legit one of the best opening bosses I've seen in a video game. It does a great job of letting players know how mental the bosses in this game are gonna be. The first phase is pretty simple, just destroy the disco balls he spins right round like a record, baby. Once you destroy his system, he grows in size. I really wouldn't question that kind of stuff in this game. The second phase builds on from the first phase, as he'll now send out shockwaves and chuck asteroids at you, but the way you take him out is virtually the same. The third phase builds on from the second phase, which looks f***ing beautiful by the way, and you'll now have a rotation irritating laser to deal with, as well as a pretty cool 2D section. It's pretty well done how each phase builds upon each other. Once he's down to his last half health bar, you'll be able to get some good practice with parrying. Like I already said, it gives you a great idea of how mental the bosses in this game can get. There was a reason why seeing this boss on YouTube caught my interest in this game.
We're gonna bunka, we're gonna junka, and we're gonna bam in your faces!
As far as I can tell, Sai is the most famous boss in the game, and for good reason. She's basically the Vinyl City's equivalent of those awesome looking Splatoon 2 concept. It plays a lot differently to the other fights in the game, playing out more like a level than a fight. Because she's being controlled by the East 4 students, you have to use the transform ability to ride the grind rails to different islands to damage links to her program, whilst evading her attacks, which is pretty thrilling as they all aim right at you. I mean, one of the attacks is literally a mouse cursor trying to click on you. Hey mate, ever heard of consent? You then have to flee whilst avoiding all of her attacks to get more and more insane until her creators panic and transform her into... Here you just gotta dodge her insane attacks while shooting notes of the final links. This fight is a blast and a half, but the best part of this fight is the music. This is the best song in the game. The music and the singing in the later phases are amazing. I love it. Okay, I know a lot of people probably won't agree with this, but Tatiana is now one of my favourite final bosses in gaming. The fight starts out with her shooting what looks like books at you, whilst you go to attack the crown. It's just alright, but the best part of this fight is when she's on the arena. Her main attacks are shooting fireballs and warping around to slash at you with her clock hands because apparently she can do that. It's a tail blast dodging her attacks and striking back until you're able to shoot a key at her, which does a great job of progressing the story. That's probably actually the best part of this fight, the way it progresses the story. I mean, yeah, I saw her being cool fire a mile away, but the way it's revealed during this fight was really well done, and the conversations also really do a great job of stressing how each side feels, and in some cases how misguided they both are.
You got them all! You're going down, Tatiana!
I've had it with you, and you took your choice of music.
In a similar way to DJ Subtonic Supernova, the attacks keep building on with each phase, with the music also getting better in each phase. I mean, yeah, Sai's got my favourite boss theme in the game, but this is definitely my second favourite. But yeah, I really love this fight. It plays well, the music is amazing, and it's satisfying as hell to land the final showstopper on her. Yeah, this game may be flawed and honestly a bit overpriced, but moments like this definitely made the game worth playing, and it's probably one of my favourite games of the year now.